to Captain Blood, a hack and slash from
and welcome back to another episode of the Indie Credible Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Xander Scullion, and joined with me, after 12 margaritas, Jeffrey Wittenhagen. What's up?
Well, hey, man, I thought this was the tequila podcast. Yeah.
Now, granted, you had 12 tequilas last night, not before we started the show. Otherwise, it'd be like madness right now.
I never said that. No, just coffee. That's where we're doing it. It's been a fun time. It's been a crazy one. Still working on doing my art all the time, which has been fun. Like literally giving me an opportunity to like stay away from computers, which has been nice because we use computers in our life. I like something tactile.
Yeah,
and and at the time of this recording, the Kickstarter is about done for the Super Nintendo book. Definitely hit the last stretch goal, so I'm doing coins, which is awesome. Just did it like this morning, which is awesome. And there should be if there are any copies left, because it is a limited dust sleeve, limited edition version of the Super Nintendo book. If there are copies left, there will be late backers until the stock runs out, or after Kickstarter. If you don't like Kickstarter, because there are people who don't like Kickstarter, which completely fine. I'll offer copies later too. But either way, that's only if they still exist, because I think there's about 10, 20 left. So there's not that many left. So, or once the stock remains, like I am the hipster artist though. Like I'm gonna make as many as there are, and I actually found out something doing my digital backlogs for the Patreon backers. Do you want to hear the craziness of what happened?
absolutely.
This last
What?
So, I've been writing books for like over like about 15 years at this point, right? So I'm going through and getting my digital backlog, just all the digital copies of the books that I've released over the years, which one would think, since most of the time I have to send, files to a printer, that I would have them. Well, looking through and going my bibliography of all my books, and I have 30 different releases and like 20 unique books that I've done. The complete Virtual Boy doesn't exist anymore.
I remember you mentioning that in the last episode.
Yeah.
Like it was like no archives or anything like that.
Well, and I figured out what happened, but it gets complicated. So, when Adobe updated from 2024 to 2025 of their software, it did something weird. So when I converted the Virtual Boy one, because I have all the files,
Right.
when I converted the Virtual Boy project to 2025, it reverted to like an original build before I even started writing for the book. And so it's not the final one. So, because otherwise I could open the project and export a new one and create the digital file because it was done. So I looked, and it's something about a glitch with the new version or something. So I went and it like spent like a whole day while I was at work converting, never converted. And I'm assuming because I saved it that it's going to have the old version converted back. So I think the Virtual Boy is out of print, out of stock, never coming again.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah. Like, I do know we had a few digital backers back in the day, so maybe they can get the author a copy of this. Outside of that, like, and the thing is, though, is the digital version is not the printable version, so it still won't be able to be printed again.
That's crazy.
It's wild.
Yeah,
And it was an April Fool. It was an April Fool's joke, anyways.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Speaking of glitches, I have a good segue into that because before we get into what we've been playing, I do have to mention like a little bit of like modern gaming stuff on my end because I did end up getting
I got a little bit of that too.
I
Got a little bit of that.
ended up getting Oblivion, Elder Scrolls, and not one but two missions crashed on me.
Jeez.
And I was just like, I didn't play it for like a day. I was like pissed off. I'm like, I knew what I was getting myself into. It's an old Bethesda game. It's a buggy mess. So I didn't play it for a day, but then like my day off, I decided to look up how to fix the glitches, fix the mission because it was like it was like one of those missions where like the dude just stopped and he was just kept yelling at me to do stuff and it, like I couldn't progress. He'd like storm the gates and I'm like, what are you doing? You're just standing there. Like you're supposed to move. But I'm supposed to go and get some ring and show it to him and progress. But anyway, so I've been playing that. But indie wise, I did buy.
But I do have a glitch thing.
Oh yeah, tell me. Let's talk about glitches.
So and this goes into our Martin RPGs Too Slow in our show notes. So I played Expedition 33 that we talked about last episode. And I played it two different ways. I played it on the Lenovo Legion Go, and so I had it installed on there and I played it. And it glitched out on me. So I was
wow.
sitting there doing the whole prologue. You're in your town, tells the like story backlogs, all this stuff. And I was playing for like an hour or whatever. It goes, you go to talk to somebody, it's like, it will now start. Like if you hear the speech from the main person, the mayor, whatever, and it's like it will start the game. So it went to like that, went to start the game. All of this long ass story, long music, beautiful, all this shit.
Yeah.
And then it crashed. And then it crashed. And so I decided that I would play it, try again last night while I was drunk on margaritas. And because I was like, I have to watch all this shit again that I can't skip. And I did it this time on Game Pass on streaming. So off my Odin that we talked about, the Odin Pro. I used that. It went through. But I played, and you know, in the prologue, you fight your little friend a couple times to show you how the RPG mechanics work, because it's more like a Final Fantasy VII remake RPG where you have little action buttons and it's interactive. It's not the old school turn-based Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
But like I'm going through, and then I finally get to the new world where I get to like run around and you're destroying and you're running around the thing, and I fight an enemy finally. One enemy. Then I go through again. There's a whole much more exposition, a bunch more story. I get into a thing, and now there's this giant boss fight, like you Final Fantasy VII, maybe like the demo boss. I fight this giant boss, cool. And then it's more exposition and more story, and I'm like, dude, is this the new way that modern RPGs go? Is that it's like,
you know, it's one of the reasons why like I don't play. I mean, I'd be lying if I say I don't play a bunch of new stuff because I do. But
yeah,
it's one of the reasons why, like,
I want to.
It's one of the reasons why it's hard for me to get into a lot of new stuff because I feel like you have to have everything, you know, ready. You have to have time because you're going to have a 30-minute, you know, cinematic. You're going to have, you know, how to play this game, press X to hit, and you're like, I know this. You know, things that would have been in an instruction manual like 20 years ago. Now it's like a 25-minute long how to play a video game. And it's just like, yeah, you played a game for like 3 hours, but it's really only probably about 35 minutes actual gameplay time. It sucks.
And like my thing is that time is, you know, is sacred nowadays as we get older, because between working and projects and fun stuff and, you know, doing all the other things, like time is like very, very, you know, precious.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I watch YouTube at 1.5 speed just because, like, otherwise I'm not going to have the time to watch some of the channels and the creators that I want to watch. I watch TV shows now at 1.5 speed and movies at 1.5 speed. I was like, when sometimes I'm watching some like pro wrestling stuff, and if I watch pay-per-view, I'm watching at 2 times speed. just because time is so like, because otherwise, like, I'm like, well, I could be doing something else with my time.
Yeah.
When I listen to podcasts, when I'm painting, I'll
Mhm.
podcast on so that way. But I have that at 1.5 speed too. So like when I'm playing a game and it's slogging, and I'm used to this 1.5 speed, maybe it's my fault for getting my brain the operating that fast.
You have a
But
very high refresh rate in your brain right now. Like everything's highest frames.
well, the thing is though, is that when I slow down, I like to enjoy myself, and it's just like maybe it's RPGs are too slow now. I don't know.
Well, it's like even if I had Expedition 33 right now, say we record this, we were done recording this podcast. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna play this game. I wouldn't have time to play it because I have to go to work. So it's like almost when I start a game, I'm like, okay, do I have at least like an hour and a half to start a game? Like to start a game, it's such a weird concept because now, there's like some of those indie games that are more like retro-esque. You push start, you're good to go. You play, you have fun. And I mean, I'm not saying
Sandy
that,
World.
yeah, and I'm not just saying that it's just like indie versus, AAA, because I mean, there's some indie games that are like that too, obviously. But for the most part, I mean, I can play a game like, Cash Cow and play something like that for 3-4 minutes, have fun. But Oblivion, like I have to go through the sewers before I even like start the game.
Is that bad? After you get through the sewers, it's like go wander the countryside with nothing in it.
By then I by
It's
then I still yeah, by then I have to go to work.
yeah, and it was like that's when I was playing Oblivion, and I'm like wandering the countryside with nothing in it, and I'm like, this is old.
It is a lot more empty than I remembered when I was going through Oblivion. That's a good point because I was going through it and I'm like, man, I feel like even Skyrim had this, occasional dragon or two NPCs fighting each other or something. With Oblivion, it was just like kind of like the Clerks 2 joke about Lord of the Rings about how you just keep walking, then you walk some more. Yeah.
Fucking crazy. Well, before we get into indie stuff, there was something that I sent you a link for last week that I thought was really cool, and it might be something that
Ooh.
collectors and retro gamers and indie gamers might enjoy. And it's one of those things where in the past on the podcast we talked about my analog pocket that I have, which it runs off of FPGA. Well, the other side of analog is the Misters, which the Misters are these like little like PCs that you can play, and they do FPGA. Well, there's this guy in Europe that did this multi-system like years ago, and it's this consoleized thing that, but you can like customize the shit out of it. Well, he is doing the Multisystem 2.
Mm.
And he has like two flavors, but he updated it all. It looks freaking amazing. And what it is it's like a plug and play retro system. They have a digital version that you can like plug into big TVs, and then they have an analog system that you can plug into retro systems, like and not retro systems, retro televisions, which
Yeah.
I think is way more interesting. There's like tons and tons of little like add-ons you can do. You can add an NFC chip reader, so you can do like amiibos or the Tap 2 cards, the Zapperoo cards.
Mm.
You can do like all these types of things. You can even add like with this little pen connector, cartridge readers into it.
Mm.
So you could create your own consoles and with FPGA plays perfectly on all systems. So
Interesting.
to me, it's a cool thing, and I thought they had these little cool ass cartridges that go in the front of it that have controller ports. You can use all your old controllers, and I'm like, dude, if you want to get me away from like collecting all the physical games, that's a way to do it because I
Yeah.
like my old controllers. I like the old feeling. I like the old, the timing, everything, and I want to do it on an old TV. That might be a perfect little medium where I can keep my key collectibles that are like the ones that have meaning to me,
Mhm.
and then maybe not have to have every damn game ever.
Yeah, yeah, I thought that was really really cool, especially like how far, because I was thinking about how far we've progressed when it comes to emulation, FPGA, with consoles. Because I remember when I first started YouTube back in like 2012, like the big talk was the Retron 5. You remember you remember the Retron 5? Everyone was going crazy about it. So we've came a long way because that was kind of a disaster. That I remember you made a video about Retron 5. I remember, was it you that was talking about how you couldn't pull the cartridge out? Was that you?
Yeah, that was junky. Oh my God. And then like I think it was like a year later, or a little bit after that, like my controller port broke. So I couldn't even like to recharge the wonky Retron 5 controller that was like really badly made.
Yeah.
Like bless their hearts.
I mean, they had the concept was great, and now we've, elevated to having that same concept in a much better way with this console you were talking about, especially with, like how we have the Mister compared to like maybe the Raspberry Pi, because, the Mister now does the FPGA, and they've made it easier and easier for folks to get into it. Because when the Mister first came out, I was just like, man, this thing looks like some steampunk colossus junk that you put together that was just way too much for me.
There's just too much to build for the Misters. Whereas, this guy, I'm pretty sure he's in Europe. I'm pretty sure he's hand building all these for people. Like you order it and they're hand building it. They're using premium parts. They're not getting junky parts from like Temu. Like they're actually using legit parts, like high quality components. So to last. So that in it itself makes me want to support it because the guy's putting forth the effort to it. I just gotta wait because I have to move and I don't have an address, and it's gonna ship in August, so I don't have an address yet. So, but I do want to get a copy. I'm torn between going the digital version, which is just plug and play, and that analog version. I just gotta see what the differences are because the analog one has too many of those pieces that I'm probably not going to use.
Yeah.
And they did the digital standalone for that reason, for people like me. But I like the idea of plugging it into a television. So that's the problem is like, but I'm not going to have a TV for like 5 years, and they might have a System 3 by then, by the time they might. And if the guy's still making them and he's making them by hand with the same high quality components, I'd support again. So it's a couple $100 too. It's not like it's super expensive.
Yeah.
So like, do I buy that instead of a Switch 2?
Yeah.
Like that might be what I buy instead of a Switch 2.
Speaking of Switch 2, I mean, I've been looking at Amazon, because right now, for the folks that are listening, I mean, by the time this episode comes out, they probably won't be doing the promo anymore. But Amazon, because of school, letting out, wait for school to start back too, because they start having a really good sell on mini PCs because of like students like living in dorms and they need like some sort of computer. I found a mini PC for like $400, and you get like a $100 coupon off, so it's like $300. It's like 32 gigs of RAM. And I was like watching some videos that was running, Black Myth Wukong at like 30 frames, 30 to 45 frames. I'm like, that's Black Myth Wukong. That's a really big game. So I'm like, man, this would be my like indie console if I got that, because my mini PC does great, but there's a couple of games I've been trying to play. I would download the demos, and the demos wouldn't run too well. But then again, my mini PC was mainly for retro games, not Steam games. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look into that. But I'd rather spend like $300 to $400 on a mini PC, something I can use for more than just indie games, and that's a good deal. It's a really, really good deal. So, folks, check that out on Amazon for sure.
Well, I remember I got the when I got the Lenovo Legion Go, it was specifically to play more higher end Steam games because my Steam Deck works for my indie stuff. Where I was like, oh, let me do higher end stuff, and then now I'm using it for building my books on it. Like, and then when I'm traveling, I can take it and put it on a desk and have a little portable keyboard. I can work on books on the little screen when I'm traveling, which I didn't even think about. So like it actually turned into something that was very practical because the Legion Go was like a little also a PC. Now they have the Legion Go 2 coming out. But those things are not like $400. They were like 600, 700, probably more. They were expensive, but I got it as like a gift from the wife for birthday one year. Like it was like a year ago or 2 years ago or something. But
Yeah.
it was I use it every day though. And so I don't even really use my laptop anymore, except for I use that as my Plex server now, my laptop. But
Yeah.
it's a full laptop. The laptop's the
Yeah.
big distance works great, but I'm not much of a laptop gamer or any of that shit. Like I'd rather
Yeah.
play portably or on a big screen. But what indie games have you been playing, Xander?
Well, a couple episodes back, we were talking about a game called Gladmort. It was like a ghost and goblins kind of game. I downloaded that, and let me tell you, this game is a lot of fun, but boy, is it freaking hard. It is a difficult freaking game. It's very retro style difficult in the sense that you have to memorize the character patterns. You have to memorize what's going on. Because what's interesting about this game is it does have credits, it does give you continues, but it does not have a stage select. So if you beat the first stage and you get a game over and you start again, you're going to be back at stage one. Like if you have to turn the game off and turn it back on, you'll be back at stage one. So it's very old school that way, but
So ours arcade style.
yeah, but it's fun. I like the different weapons that you can get. One of my favorites was like the Ninja Star. It says really fast. So you get Ninja Star. You also get like a mace that you can like hit, and it kind of just goes around in circles, almost like the Holy Bible and Castlevania kind of does that sort of thing. So it was fun though. I ended up buying it on Switch. I ended up getting it on there for like $15, but I recommend it. I recommend it, but it is difficult. It will make you frustrated, but it's fun.
At least you played a good one. I was like, damn, you actually played a cool one. Whereas if I randomized her, gave me something, I don't even want to talk about it. Ugh.
What-
But I asked it because I told everyone.
What was the name of the game? It's like
So I randomized it was Enchanted Portals. The game itself looks like it's like Cuphead almost. That's what it looks like. But so I was playing it and it is janky as hell. It's just not fun. Like so you're sitting there, right? And imagine the Cuphead platformer levels. Those are pretty fun. Like, it's not the boss battles like Cuphead, but the platforming levels. Well, you're going through the graphics look exactly like Cuphead with all the classic old timey style cartoons, but you're going through the platforming and the enemies will come over you and you just shoot at them. And you just shoot blah, 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 like a bunch of times, like 20, 30 hits.
oh, they're spongy.
And then you go to the next part and it's like, all right, use your attack to get through. So you cut through like a twig and then you go to the next thing. And now there's another enemy. Now he's a different color. And I'm just sitting there for like a minute and he's not dying. And you're having to like dodge stuff as it's attacking you. And I'm still going. He's not dying. So I just run forward and get through. And I got to the end of the level. I'm like, all right, cool. So apparently you got to like outrun the guy. Get to the next level. There's like, you do it, and it's the same blue guy, and they're all the same, just change the color of them. And then there's like another one, and another one, and another. So I have like 5 enemies going crazy. You can't kill them.
Yeah.
And it's also like, you can't just like hit him, and there's no good proximity. You have to be directly below them, like there's a little center part on the enemy. And so like, I'm not hitting the enemies either. And it's like, and they're not dying anyways. And I'm sitting there, I'm just like, holy cow. So then I just ended up getting killed because I'm like trying to like outrun 5 of these fuckers. And then there's more enemies. And I'm like, it was just like, you can't kill the enemies. So it wasn't cool.
Yeah.
And so I see why it has a bad reputation because it just wasn't fun. Like I was like, I played it, I died, and I'm like, I don't want to play this anymore. So it is on my is deleted from my Steam Deck now.
I would say it's on the Forgotten Realm now.
It is not recommended. No. Unless somebody says, hey, you're dumb and you need to do this. Like maybe there's some kind of thing that they didn't tell me how to do. But like they have a tutorial how to play.
Yeah.
So you would think if there was another special thing they would have told me. If not, I was hitting all the different buttons. There's no special way to wipe out the enemy. So
That's a shame.
yeah, it was just bad. It looks like it would be cool shit too.
Yeah.
Nope. So randomizer fail this week. I was like, yeah, was so bad that I forgot what game I had played. I had to look it up. Like, thank goodness. I was like, Xander, what game did I?
Yeah, because it seemed like it was just forgettable. Like it's crazy that you would have a game that you could like shoot enemies but can't kill them. Like, what's the point?
Like, I don't understand just like how they just didn't make the hitboxes work good. I'm like, dude. Well, maybe they did a patch or are going to do a patch and fix all that shit.
Yeah.
Whatever version I had, I was playing offline anyway. So whatever version I had installed was not great. Not great, people. Goodness.
Well,
There wasn't a lot of games this week either from the list added to the list that were released. Like I think we had 3
Yeah.
total.
Yeah, we got 3. And so you wanna jump into that over the horizon?
Unless you've played anything else, Xander.
No, I haven't. Other than Oblivion and Gladmort, which, like I said, Gladmort's pretty good. You know what I like about I'll add this to Gladmort that I really like is I like that you can use the shoulder buttons to change the filters. So they have a different CRT filters and different. And I do like that. I do like that. But I wish it would at least say that you beat the stage because like I hated it. I was kind of curious because it took me forever to get through the first stage because it was kind of difficult. And when I finally got through it, I'm like, I wonder if I can like go back to stage 1 because I was at stage 2 at this point. So I was like, I'll just turn it off. Turned it off. It was like back from the beginning. I'm like, oh well.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, this the first game on the Over Horizon. This looks pretty.
It is Captain Blood, a pirate-themed action game. So I was like, pirate-themed action game? Like, I'm interested. And it's 3D, action, 3D action game, which looks cool. So like has hack and slash aesthetics. There's cinematics, old school craziness, and it's all pirates fighting. So the thing is, it has very positive reviews too. It just looks cool as shit, dude. Like, damn.
Yeah, the battle system and combos look really good. And I've noticed that we've kind of low key went into this like pirate renaissance sort of thing. Like I've noticed a lot more pirates this year. Because I'm thinking about the new Yakuza game. Ease 10 was also pirate themed. But looking at this, I mean, it looks like you also you're blasting enemies with your guns, but it looks like it has some ship combat as well, which is really really cool. And they do have a demo, so if you want to try it out,
I think the game is like $25 currently on sale, a couple bucks off. I was going down a little bit of rabbit hole because this game was released in May of 25. So pretty recent. But like the developer is Seawolf Studio, and they only have this game associated with their account. But then they have General Arcade in the developer, and then there's SNEG as the publisher, and both of those have a ton of games under them, so they're both publishers.
yeah.
So this is less indie than others because this is very well done. Yeah, it's cool as shit. It looks like it has a giant budget, but it's made by Seawolf Studio and they don't have a repertoire, so I always think that stuff is super interesting. Let's see. So let's see what some key features are before we jump on, since we only have a couple games this episode. So you have epic pirate shenanigans. That's what it has as a key feature. Pirate shenanigans. Intense action. So you got hand-to-hand combat. You have your ship deck brawls, so you can bite off enemies pirates trying to board your ship, which that's fucking cool. That is fucking cool. Arsenal of awesomeness. So you get cutlasses, pistols, muskets, throwing knives, hand bombs. And then it says, don't forget those sneaky pirate tricks.
What's this? What is this sneaky pirate trick?
I don't know, but I'm interested now. And then it just says, like, it feels like you're flipping through a pirate comic book, which I can agree. It looks like a pirate comic book.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing is, though, this game went through several iterations throughout the 2000s. It was showcased in 2010 before it vanished for years, this game.
Oh.
So they brought it back, combining the original with some modern improvements. So apparently this game was in the works in the 2010s. Which to me sounds like this is super interesting. Captain Blood. I always think of Captain Silver on the Sega Master System when I saw Captain Blood, Captain Silver, the pirates. Pirate world, man. That's what I'm here for. Now it could just be me and just picking pirate shit too. So like, don't maybe we're not in that much of a. Might just be my fault.
No, I was like, man, this looks good. Like, and for the price, I mean, I feel like you're gonna be getting some quality with it. I'll try the demo. Hopefully, I'll try it on my laptop because my mini PC won't play it. My mini PC, by nah, dude. Nah, I'm okay with
Well,
that.
and so when we move though to this next game, it's the exact opposite. This one
Yes.
I added to the list because it came on sale for $1.
Yeah.
$1. And so this is super indie. It is a 2D RPG arcade platform that has all the things in there. It's called Hypcampex.
Mm.
Hypcampex, 2D platformer that embarks you on a remarkable adventure across planet Photonus. But there's a lot of registered trademarks on this game. Like even the game
Really
itself,
is.
yeah, but the game looks super indie. Like very like clean shapes with no shading, like just color graphics. Um, looks very interesting to say the least. But it was $1, and anything that's under $2 is a automatic purchase for me on my deck when it pops up. Um, yeah, because like biologists of Later Tomorrow is the developer.
Mm. Yeah,
And
this
then, and then the other developer is Orbital Ticks, which has a registered trademark in the name. So all this stuff has like registered trademarks in the name. Like, dude, what way to throw off gamers is registered trademarks on everything.
yeah, it's really weird. And the defined tags, it's like action, adventure, RPG, 2D fighter, arcade. It's like that's a lot to take in for such a simplistic looking game. That's a lot to go on.
Well, and if you're going down into the about the game, it does say it's an action adventure RPG. To me, that screams Metroidvania, but it
Hmm.
seems like it's more just an action platformer. It looks like you're going through like the graphics themselves, like the character looks like it's 2D, but it's like 3D modeled
Yeah.
polygons, but then the backgrounds are just like super simple. Like they were like, do you remember on 3DS playing the Mii games, the ones that you would do with like disconnected? But do you remember playing the street tag games?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
some of those games, there was a spaceship game where you would like play. The graphics in this look like the spaceship game from the 3DS Mii's. Like just not super defined, not super cool.
Well,
But
I'm gonna look at the reviews real quick.
yeah,
Um,
because it does say that you fight through space as well, so there are space battles. And it looks super janky, which I think looks fun.
yeah, from what I'm reading in the reviews, a lot of folks are calling it a Metroidvania, like it is. Great 2D platform mechanics similar to the likes of Mega Man. The vibrant maps and immersive story are very impressive. Okay. Uh, the only one that I see that's not recommended is the game requires a login that gets a server error 500, so you can't play it. Devs need to fix this, or the game is unplayable. Now this was back in October of 2024, so obviously they probably fixed it since then. Otherwise, this person who had the immersive story
You said
would have been able to play it.
obviously like they fixed it.
Well, I'm saying that because I'm looking at the timeline. Because I'm looking at the dude who was like, man, this is like Mega Man vibes. And that was in February of 2025. And this guy was talking about this in October of 2024. So they fixed it. They fixed it.
Okay.
But
If I believe them, but that's funny though.
it is $1 though, so
It is $1, and I was trying to see like while you were looking up that if like I could get my deck 'cause I had it plugged in
oh yeah.
because it was dead earlier, so I don't think I can do a randomizer unfortunately today. But we do have one more game to look at, and it's another random one that I found, crazy one, and a little bit of context. Every single time with homebrew games, the homebrew community for like NES homebrew, all the aftermarket stuff, everybody always makes a snake game.
Yeah.
And so this game is called Snake Cremental, and it was released in April 25 by Walking Cat, the developer. It's a couple bucks, but this one is like has RPG mechanics in it.
Oh.
Like, so it's a snake game, but it's like this giant Darius looking level selector. You can continue to go over multiple levels, and you can like upgrade your snake, which I'm like,
kind of cool.
I don't know if I've seen an arcade snake game where it has like RPG mechanics. It says there's like resource management and simulation in it too, which I am not a big simulation fan, but I don't know, man. Like, it just looks very interesting. It just looks like a damn cool ass version. Like, it is wild.
Yeah, it looks like it has some like more in depth to like the game of Snake, which I like Snake. There is a demo, so in case you're not sure if you want to spend the $3.99 because it's like $4, you
The
can
best
download
thing
the demo.
is that most of the times on Steam, you'll have like this giant descriptions with pictures and like all this stuff. This one has 4 bullet points on the features. It says skill tree, multiple resources with unique effects, skins, number go up. Number go up. So make sure you get this for the number go up, Xander, because the number go up is the way to go here. Like, I mean, let's be real. Number go up is why we're here. But yeah, ridiculous, man. I love it. I love it.
It's gonna the skill tree makes you think of like Final Fantasy X or something, dude. Like I'm looking at the skill tree. I mean, it's kind of wild at
It's insane.
how much goes into the snake. I mean, what can he do here?
Well, and that's what interested me. Ooh, okay. 3 failures. Huh.
Oh,
I will just go to it was the Steam Deck thing. It just kept apparently there's some kind of glitch with the old OS. So it is doing the PC thing of rebuilding the core. I don't know what that means, but I will let it do its thing, and that's the one thing I like about a Steam Deck is it's an all-encompassing thing. It might actually start before the episode is.
so you hit a randomizer.
Hit a randomizer on it. Yeah, you gotta love not testing the stuff out, and it's craziness. But yeah, and so it's been an interesting week too with outside of indie games too, because you know I'm getting ready to move again.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize how expensive pods are. To get a pod, I thought it'd be like a grand or something, you know, get a pod to move. Like, because all I got to do is I got to take my cousin Kyle's collection, put it in a pod and move it. So it's like one pod. It's a storage unit. It's like half full of retro awesome ass stuff, and it ended up being like almost $4,000.
Jeez.
So we looked it up. So we're like, no, absolutely not. I will get a truck. Hell, I could buy a truck for I can find somebody with a truck for cheaper than that. So, but we looked up, I think U-Pack from U-Haul will do it for like 1,000. Oh,
there we go.
it was loaded and I unplugged it and then it died because of lack of battery.
Oh.
So that's why it's turning off. So it's dead because of the battery. So we won't be able to do a randomizer.
No random.
I'll let you do a randomizer, Sandra. You do.
How do you even do it? I don't have a Steam Deck. I can't do a randomizer. Let's see.
You can collect random game on your Steam, can't you? No, I don't know if you can or not.
Let me see.
But I'm just seeing if I can load up the Steam again. But the problem is that it died from the battery. So, the other thing we can look at is did you figure it out?
No, but I found a really cool game that I might be checking out that's on sale right now called
Ooh.
Zoom Dennis. Oh, never mind. It's an educational game. I'm not playing that.
Heck yeah, you need to play it.
Screw that. No, there's a really good there's there's a really good sale going on right now on Steam. Those publisher sales like up to 90% off, and Animal Well right now is $18.
So,
Nice.
let's do because there's a game on Game Pass. It is called Mullet Mad Jack.
Bullet Mad Jack.
Mullet Mad Jack.
Oh,
It is a boomer shooter. And it's available for free on Game Pass, so I will stream it. It looks like a neon drenched boomer shooters. So that is what I will. Yeah, and then somebody was like holding a card of himself, or is it like a selfie or something? That's weird. But I'm gonna play some Mullet Mad Jack since we've talked a lot about boomer shooters, but really haven't played any recently. And I will play the Mullet Mad Jack. That'll be my randomizer. And literally, I just went on Game Pass and what was recently added and what looked indie. That's the first one after Expedition 33 because that's so indie. Modern.
Yeah, this looks cool because it actually looking at some of the screenshots, it almost kind of has like a snatcher kind of feel with some of the robots. It looks like there's like a robot that you have to fight, and it looks like a symbiote kind of Terminator kind of. Yeah, that right there. That's what I'm looking at. That looks dope.
Put a book in its mouth or something probably before you shoot it. The
Yeah.
cards look retro. Like this is just all off of the because I'm just gonna stream it from onto the Odin Pro here from my because I don't have an Xbox. I just have Game Pass.
Yeah.
That's the irony. I haven't bought an Xbox since the original Xbox One, but I have Game Pass and PC Game Pass is great. That's where like Microsoft has moved on to everything's an Xbox now. It's fine. And I mean, I'm probably going to because when I'm able to get a new phone in the free upgrades or whatever it is in August. And I think I'm gonna move away from iPhones finally and I'm gonna get the fold ones.
Yeah.
The big screen. Because I do a lot of I watch a lot of content and stuff like YouTube or movies or whatever. And I'm like, Analog has made something for Androids that you can put controllers on and have a big ass screen. So I could do Game Pass with it, with my fold. So then I have my actual phone and then I can tinker. I like to tinker with new tech too. So
Yeah.
it may not replace this because this is bedside gaming, which is perfect. But I'm thinking of new ways to play games. So that might be fun.
Yeah, and plus the fold, you could do some really cool. You can do some cool DS emulation with that.
Exactly. That sounds cool as shit too. Yeah. That's I'm just I haven't messed with Androids too much. I mean this is Android. So
Yeah.
I've been messing with this a little bit. But it seems like it'd be pretty fun to tinker around with just to do other stuff with it. So that's awesome. I think that puts a bow on today though, doesn't it?
Indeed, we need to thank our Patreons.
Oh, Akroloth is one.
And we also have, well, you got my eyes. I put you on the spot and even have my notes up. Good old David Isherwood over the pond. Thank you so much for all your support.
Of course, Lunchbox, aka the Disgruntled Gamer from the Dome Gaming Society, all off the top of the noggin, not looking at any notes.
And Jesse Glenn.
Thank you all for going to Hagen's Alley. Patreon.com/Hagen's Alley and supporting for less than a cup of coffee. You can follow along. I think the idea when I get to this whole move thing is that I'm gonna start doing little content, little short video contents for Patreons. And I think showing off all the art that I've been doing. But hey, here's this week's of art. So like this week I worked on Ninja Gaiden. I got a Ninja Gaiden art piece that I did from the PC Engine though. PC Engine version. Finished the Battletoads. So I got one with the big old boot. I got one on the little the speeder from the turbo tunnel. And I also did a giant art piece for my wife for Mother's Day. I actually did. She has been obsessed with the Rocky and Bullwinkle since she was a kid, and so I did a big NES Rocky and Bullwinkle on a giant freaking canvas, and I was painting it yesterday before Margarita Madness. I was painting it. So literally, I woke up in the morning on Saturday, threw on a podcast in the ear, and did nothing else with any technology. I was just hand painting the stuff. It's very therapeutic, very fun, and I'm making retro stuff. So when you come see us at conventions, because I'm going to go to a couple conventions this year once after I move. I'm going to be at Classic Game Fest in Austin. I'm going to be at the Game Summit. I think it's the Video Game Summit in Chicago. And those would be in the summer. And then the fall, Portland Retro Gaming, the Mecca. I will be there. I'm hanging out at a table with a couple other people because tables are expensive, so we're sharing. But I will have my art pieces with me, and if anybody is interested in any. The other thing is, on the Kickstarter was the availability to commission art. So I had 5 people get some of the smaller ones, and I have 2 that had the ability to get the giant one. And I only had, I think there's still 1 left. So one person can still commission me to do a piece that they want to do. So stuff will be cool though. And my thing is I'm making them all for me. So they're all going into my collection. But when I bring them around just to show off, if people want to buy one, I'll make another one for me. So it's so crazy. So the newest one I will be doing this week is Pizza Pop. Have you heard of Pizza Pop before?
Pizza Pop, no.
So that is a Famicom exclusive NES game, only released in Japan. Recently they did a licensed re-release on Broke Studio. Broke Studio has this new like little homebrew thing that they're doing, and they have a NTSC version of Pizza Pop that they're releasing. So I have gotten that. That game will be coming in, and I'm going to do a wooden pixel. I already have it printed off and everything because I'm doing like layering and stuff before I paint it, making it look badass, and then I'm gonna hand paint the layering. So I am doing it's Pizza Pop's a classic platformer, and one of the coolest things doing my NES Oddities book is I found so many platformers and amazing games that we never got here. And I did the NES Oddities book like 10 years ago. So Pizza Pop though is a really good one. It's one of those under hidden gems.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It's got it's got a very interesting cartridge on the side note.
Yeah.
It's like the
oh yeah. And so that'll be the interesting thing is when I go to these conventions, you're gonna see pixels and crazy shit you may not even understand where it's from, and that'll be part of the fun. Be like, what the hell is this? And I'll be like, oh, that's from Pizza Pop. Have you never heard of Pizza Pop? Well, let me educate you on some amazing stuff you may not have heard of on the fan. And it just creates conversation. It's really freaking fun. I love it. I love it. And as we talk, a guy named Ender Wiggin just joined our Patreon. So pretty awesome. Join that the digital.
Yeah, I need to see if I can like add a brand new challenger. It comes up new Patreon. But that's awesome.
That's so shit. But we're not live streaming this, so it's not here.
Yeah.
But that guy did the digital version, and the digital version you get access to every digital version. And if you're a hire, like our executive producers here, or even producers, you get access to every digital book I've ever done. I've been slowly adding the backlog, which is why I found that I don't have the Virtual Boy book. By the way, so super cool though. And it's always appreciated. I'm a hipster artist. So I'll put it up there for everybody because enjoy it. That's the thing. Like I make this stuff for people to enjoy, not to like hold on to and hoard.
Yeah.
Not fun. It's not fun. But yeah, as I move forward with more books and stuff, it's gonna be more hipster stuff because It's gonna be some crazy stuff. Yeah. It's more hipster stuff, more underground. And even the podcasts have always been about the underground, about the community. So
Yeah.
Indie Credible, we got a small community of people that are cool as hell, and we appreciate y'all.
Yeah, and like I one of the things I like about this show the most too, as we close out, is when I'm online, like everyone's just complaining right now how expensive gaming is, and it is very expensive right now, but there's so many options. So many options with us, man. Because I mean, we talk about a brand new game, like a brand new handful of games every week, and most of the time they're cheap, or at least they have a demo, so you can at least play it and figure out if it's something you want.
And even our crazy expensive Captain Blood is $20. Yeah, like that one is like crazy. But then you can play some Snake Scremental with us, and for $3, $4, you could play a crazy ass snake game with the most ridiculous skrill tree we've ever seen. Like it's like it's just fun. And then for free, play Mullet Magic with us in the community. Like it's wild. Like we just have a good time, and there are ways to enjoy ourselves. And worst case scenarios, Xander, we just play the infinite hundreds of thousands of retro games that also were released. Like we don't have any video games. Like
I mean, there's still some Sega Genesis games and whatnot that I have that I don't even know about. I'm just like, what is this? My little handhelds and stuff like that. But anyway, guys.
Fortunately, somebody's released a book with all that in there that you can yourself sand.
Oh yeah. And you guys can check that out. Best place to check it out is the Patreon, because you're connected to the wide web of Jeffrey Wittenhagen. All the
wild web of Wittenhagen.
There we go. You're connected to all that. But anyway, guys, I think this is going to wrap up an episode. But as always, I want to thank you for listening and support indie.